We're in a city in France that is home to some of the craziest supporters in all of Europe, and home to the only European trophy a French club has ever won. PSG may steal all the international headlines right now, but Olympique de Marseille is the club with the richest history in the country. L'Homme will look to add another trophy against Atletico Madrid in the 2018 Europa League Final in the club's biggest European match in over 15 years. The city of Marseille is the second largest in France and one of the oldest in all of Europe. The locals insist that their coastal location is one of the main things that differentiates them from the rest of the country.
Marseille and the rest. Not the same country, okay? C'est un prolongement de moi. Tu vois, ces rues, cette ambiance, l'odeur de la mer. C'est ce qui fait notre truc à part, tu vois. C'est qu'on est autour du feu. La Méditerranée, autour du feu.
Ah, ici, c'est une ville méditerranéenne. C'est une ville du sud. C'est la plus vieille ville de France aussi, une des plus vieilles villes d'Europe. Et ça a toujours été une ville qui s'est un petit peu comportée en opposition à la centralité de Paris.
C'est une question de suprématie entre la culture parisienne, la culture lyonnaise.
How would you describe the people of Marseille, the culture, the history?
Il y a un brassage ethnique dans Marseille, beaucoup de gens d'origines diverses. Et on apprend de ces cultures.
Il y a des dizaines de milliers de Corses, d'Italiens ici, d'Espagnols, de Grecs, d'Arabes.
The people of Marseille may enjoy the sun and their history, but everyone in the city lives and breathes for Olympique Marseille. The club was one of the founding members of the current top division, Ligue 1, and regularly averaged the highest attendance in French football.
We eat Marseille, we drink Marseille, we love Marseille, and Marseille is everything for us. We find our identity in the club, on the pitch with the players.
Et c'est vrai qu'à Marseille, c'est très particulier parce qu'il y a historiquement un lien très fort entre le club et les supporters.
Les gens de Marseille sont passionnés. On est à fond. On est à fond. On se lève, on pense Marseille, on pense Olympique de Marseille. On se couche, on parle que des transferts de l'OM. On parle que de l'OM tout le temps.
On va dire, tous les Marseillais aiment l'OM.
On est, dès la naissance, on est supporter de l'Olympique de Marseille, de père en fils. C'est les grands-parents qui amènent les enfants au stade.
The owners changed, the managers changed, the players changed, the fans don't. And the fans are what makes this team.
We want to keep our identity. We don't want to be like Red Bull Salzburg, Leipzig, or to be like Paris, Just put money. We want to keep our background, our identity, not to be dirt by the money.
Les supporters de Marseille rassemblent toutes les couches sociales. Tout le monde se réunira et sera à peu près logé à la même enseigne. Alors qu'on a l'impression que, notamment pour Paris, on a l'impression que c'est un club d'élite. Il y a une passion qui est différente.
C'est pas le même engouement.
Il y a la passion.
La passion, la ferveur et puis...
Tryna take control, I'ma snatch your pad. Life in the game, don't try and own my own pad. Ain't max, but still, it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. It's not me, really gone to the plan. Funny, got a stretch car, I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Got me trying to see more green than damn. One of my G said to move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese, cutting up the hustle. Cause they're both getting cheese, and they're both using muscle. But only one's on the street. One man legit for his son, the other's trying to shine like one. Swipe spit it's like a 9. So neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle. Watch, it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble. I say as long as I blow, then it's fine. Flow for my fam, cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for the gang, cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. Can't use always if I want something new. Stay fresh. Me and my brothers weren't playing chess, was making moves. We was on there from fraud to the food. Just a splash and taking them trips, post cop and new shoes. Quick fixes, I just ride with a tool. Young reckless, didn't follow no rules. Swear took risks, just shine like jewels. Couple times was hot, had to play it cool. Back then the ones who made me hadn't separated. So won't stop till the one who stayed is over, celebrated, rated. For working 10 plus, no promo. Her show it still runs, no co-host. And that's when the fam deserted her, still she didn't crumble. Cave it's a no-no. She got more heart than care for they left of her dead, had her chopped up the photo. That's why I wanna make her live a dream. Anything she want that costs green is a go-go. Every day is a hustle. With my 9 pence strapped back, car money's on my mind. Reminds me of a Russell. Rather be deaf to all jams that their brother didn't grind. Flow for the fam, cause they say blast bigger than water. Flow for my gang, cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that.
Here we go. Ooh, that sounds really nice.
I thought you, yeah, I was gonna say I saw you.
Yeah, they sound good.
Oh, here it is.
Alright, boys.
Feel good? It's gonna be a soccer show. I love
Tryna take control of my statue pad. Life in the game, don't try to own my own pad. Max, but still it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. It's not me, really gone to the plan. Funny got a stretch car, I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Got me trying to see more green than damn. One of my G's said he'll move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese, can't knock the hustle. Cause they're both getting cheese. And they're both using muscle. But only one's on the street. One man legit for his son, the other's trying to shine like one. Swipe spit it's like a 9. So neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle. Watch, it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble. I say as long as I blow, then it's fine. Flow for my fam, cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for the gang, cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God. They ain't blue like that, they ain't blue like that. They ain't blue like that.
What is up, my friends? STFU Live is back, uncut, Sit Talk Football Uncut. We're missing a few of our members today, no Dash, no Pat, but
No JJ.
Aaron and I are going to try to hang out with you commies in the section, in the ultra section. We're here at Smithfield Hall, which was packed with Marseille supporters up until a few minutes ago when they were defeated in the final of the Europa League.
It's weird that they would leave like that,
Yeah.
right?
Why wouldn't you just stay and continue having a non-alcoholic drink for the rest of the day? No, I understand why you do it. I'd probably leave too. But here we are. Me and Aaron are going to run the show here. Hopefully you guys like the new digs. It's temporary, but if you guys want us to shoot out in the field more often, let us know and send that hashtag Vibes for Flores because he's the one that makes that happen. So, Aaron, let's talk about this, man. 3-0.
I wish I could
Atletico
say
Madrid
I'm surprised.
beats Marseille. Actually, to be fair, if we're all being honest with each other, us two and the commies, are you in the section, by the way? Are they hanging out? All right, you're going to oversee that for a little bit? Marseille was good to start the game. First 20 minutes. I guess, what minute was the goal? 20th? Before the 20th?
It was like 32nd minute, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
So,
wait, yeah.
can we get a quick number crunch on that?
Can we get a quick
First
number
goal?
crunch?
What minute?
Was it like 20-something seconds?
Something like that.
It was in the game.
21, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're right.
So the first 20 minutes and 59 seconds, it was, I liked the way Marseille was playing. They were playing fearless. They looked like they matched up well. They were energetic. To be fair, this was exactly how they started as well when they played against Lyon. When we were out in France a few weeks ago at home, they just came out flying. There was a confidence. Luis Gustavo getting stuck in right away, setting that pace. But very, very quickly, one mistake. And that's what I think the difference is, by the way. It's not about the mistake because Atletico is capable of making that one mistake, but Atletico is good enough to capitalize on that mistake. And I don't think Marseille, if given the same opportunities, would necessarily be that clinical.
I also think that Marseille play a more risky style where like that mistake happens because you see Mandanda play or whatever, I forgot the midfielder's name, whoever gave the ball away. But there's no cover around him at all. Like they play like a very their build-up style is like if he gives the ball away there, like they're screwed. They're screwed. Like Atleti are a much more safe team, I think, and it was like, but yeah, they're just ruthless.
Yeah.
They're ruthless, and for me, it's like it was cool to see Griezmann win a final.
Yeah.
I think he's gone now. He has to be gone, right?
Yeah, I think he won a Super Cup final once. When he
was
first
like-
got there. When he got there and they were champions, they won the Super Cup.
All right, that's tight, I guess. Yeah.
No, that's not really a title compared to this. No, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him because he came right after they won a championship, La Liga, and they haven't won anything. They've lost in a couple finals for him.
That's his first major trophy.
And I think it's the perfect time for him to move on, which we'll get to in a second. But look, Simeone wasn't even on the bench. It didn't really seem like a factor. To be fair, Marseille had a huge chance early on off a great, very efficient counterattack. Payet slots him through, and I just thought that was going to be the one that really
You think
took
it
him
just
over the
came too
edge.
early? Like the emotions of the game too high?
But that's what I'm saying is like Atleti would finish that chance if given that opportunity. If you
I agree with you,
because
yeah.
they built their whole system off of being very efficient on the counterattack, being very strong defensively, and when they open up on you, I don't know what the statistics are, how efficient they are, but they are very, very good, and they will punish you if you're vulnerable at all. And I think if Marseille could do that, would have been a different story today.
They weren't clinical at all, and like I didn't like their game plan. Like I don't think Marseille have like a super fluid way of playing. They don't have like a beautiful way of playing. I didn't like their game plan today. They kind of seemed like when it broke down, let's just whip a ball into the box, and like they love that. Oblak is smash you.
Set really be a specialist, and today World Cup.
Yeah, like how serious it is. That 4 weeks, it's just what is there left for him to do? Yeah, win the Champions League, but he's not going to there. Like unless a miracle happens, I think he's done everything he can do in an Atleti shirt, and like if I was an Atleti fan and he left, I would be like, thank you for your service. Keep it pushing. You have done everything we could have asked from you, except for bottle it in finals. But that's different.
But he has won something. It's fine to just get out and go. It's time for him to go.
I think it's time. It's time.
I mean, it is a peak moment that I don't think Atletico will have again for a while. And a peak moment to the point where it's like, they won in 2010-11, but like getting to a Champions League or Europa League final and winning it isn't the ultimate prize for them because they've been in 2 Champions League finals recently and lost those, but it is a high moment for them to say, okay, it's time to make some changes because this can't go on forever. They still have a young team, but having a guy like Griezmann, you can cash in on him, let him move on, and carry the kind of, I don't know, vibe of your club beyond.
Yeah, I think Griezmann will leave, but I really thought, I was like convinced a few months ago, like a year or so ago, that Diego Simeone would be leaving this summer. But I honestly think I've like completely flipped. Like everything I've heard and everything I've seen, it seems like he's gonna stay for a little while. It's weird to me. I get like a feeling that he might stick around.
Yeah.
And I think the only team at this point he would probably leave for, if I would put it on paper, would be Inter.
Yeah.
Like I think like in a couple years he might leave for Inter, but he seems to be pretty entrenched there, which is weird to me.
If you've been there now, what, since 2011, so 7 years, and you've built a team, and you've brought all these young players through, and you do it with a very kind of moderate budget, right? And you've built a system that you want, and you have the support of a sports director or the technical director. You have the support of the fans. Everybody loves you. You're coming now off of a Europa League championship, or being champions of the Europa League, brand new stadium. You have all these things going for you. Like, what's the point of leaving unless it's the perfect situation? Because the life of a manager is so short. That it can just take a hard turn if you go and you have to adopt a team, and it's all over.
And like I think my thinking was wrong because I assumed like he would kind of get burnt out. Players would get burnt out under him, and so I love this dude.
This is why I've never understood you only sing when you're winning because they just lost 3-0. They're still singing, so that's passion. I respect that.
I love that, honestly. Like that actually makes me really happy to see them like in here and getting after it.
Lost my train of thought now.
I don't know, that's just dope.
But, you know, everybody wants Griezmann to stay. He's probably going to leave, but Simeone probably stays for a little bit longer.
I think so.
Historically, you know, in Europe, they've got 2 Europa League wins, right, where they beat Atletico Bilbao. 3-0 in 2011-12, 9-10 they beat Fulham. Oh, back-to-back. That's crazy.
Back-to-back.
No, 10-11. No, they one gap in between. But Marseille, on the other hand, 15 years since their last big final opportunity, where they won the Champions League back then. For them, I thought it was a huge opportunity. You always knew that Atletico were going to be the favorites, but I didn't expect them to be. I mean, after one goal, you could see Atletico just kind of like going a step higher and higher and higher.
Thank you. So you picked Marseille in your pre-game prediction, but when you made that pick, I talked to you right before you made it. I looked in your eyes. I don't feel like you believed it. I feel like you were like...
No, I was invested in the story.
You were riding on the story like the doc is incredible. I almost was swayed by the doc.
For the content.
I was almost swayed by the content, but like I looked in your eyes and you didn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I knew that Atletico... This is so good. I knew that Atletico were going to be the favorites by far. Because they're having not just a great year in Europa League, but also a great year in the league. And so they're clearly better on paper. Almost every single position you could say that Atletico is better. So, of course, I didn't truly believe they were the favorites or that they could pull it off, but I was invested in this story to see this team that we had sort of done a story about, by the way, which is now live on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check it out. We went to Marseille, spent some time with them. Do we have a little clip to play for them today or no?
While we're finding it, I have a question.
We do have a clip for you guys, so send those hashtags vibe for Flores because he's got that video locked and loaded to see a little preview. So check this out.
Boom.
So Lyon just had it. You know who's at home right now, and it's definitely not Lyon. Marseille is in this building. Every person in this stadium represents Marseille. The main thing about Marseille is that the owners changed, the managers changed, the players changed, but the fans don't.
This means everything to them, and that's why they're out here supporting, lighting off flares, lighting off bombs. It's going to be crazy, and it's just getting started.
So there you have it, guys. For the full version, make sure you go on to our YouTube channel, COPA90 US, which you're on right now, and then watch it. It was a lot of fun, cool experience. Won't tell you how the game ended, but if you have Google, you might be able to find it out, but I'd rather you watch the film. Also, we are still considering giving you Pat Inferno's phone number since you guys miss him so much in the comments. We're going to create a WhatsApp group that you could just bother him all day long. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think you can, can't you make like just a random phone number for WhatsApp though? Like an old phone number that you have?
I think Google, through Google, you can make like a fake phone number.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
It'd be tight for him.
I'd love to have Pat talking to you guys on a regular basis, because why just do it live? He needs to gather the army.
Yeah, he needs to be building.
If we're
his
going to
army
actually
on
be
a
united
7-day
as commies,
basis, yeah.
we have to be able to mobilize every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time to get you guys on our show. So, and then obviously be communicating with you guys throughout the week. We're going to put the Pat on that as the intern, as the full-time intern.
Full-time intern.
Yeah.
So I got a question from the commies.
Okay.
Daniel Martinez wants to know, do you think Atletico has been the third best team in the world the past 5 years?
No. Okay, a few years ago they were the second best team, I guess, in the world. But for the past 5 years, you don't become the third best team when you win Europa League. You become the 17th best team. You go out
anywhere from the 17th to 32nd best team.
Yeah, anywhere from 17th to the 32nd best team. When you go out, that means you finish third in your group in the Champions League. Like that, to me, unless you've gone straight route into Europa League, then maybe it gets really complicated. But if you go out of your group stages, you are at best the 17th best team in Europe in the Champions League. So they are very, very good, though. No disrespect to them. They're
Who would you
champions.
call the third best team over the last 5 years?
Oh, let me just look at the last 5 years online real quick as results.
Off the top of your head, straight off the top dome.
The third best team. Can it be Man City then?
Over the last 5?
Are they a solid argument for third best? Chelsea maybe? I don't know.
I'm biased, so I'm going to say Juve.
I won't give anything to
I'm just going to say
Juve.
Juve. Just because they've been in 2 Champions League finals over the last 5
Yeah, that's
4
fair.
years.
That's fair.
I'm also wildly biased.
If you're looking at just Real Madrid, right? So they have to be in the top 3 because they're back-to-back.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Barcelona and Real Madrid are the 2.
Has to be, right?
Right, and then it's a toss-up for the rest of them. Conan says this is a dead channel and also die. So here, you can't have it both ways, Conan. We can't be dead and then die.
Yeah.
What is dead can never die.
Time out.
It's true.
Conan.
Everyone knows that.
Conan.
Everyone knows that.
Conan in all caps. I'm over on his computer now reading these comments because got me all heated up.
We got a lot of Bayerns for top 3.
Dead and ask somebody to die.
It's true. It's true. You can't.
What? But Bayern have only been to semifinals of the Champions League. They don't get to be a third place thing. You got to get to a final of the Champions League. They could be the 4th.
The commies are arguing between Bayern and Juve. A couple more, I think Bayern.
Okay.
Over, but I think those are the 2 best choices.
Totally.
Over the last
but
5 years.
okay, here's the argument. You have to lean towards Juve though because they've at least made it to the final. Bayern haven't in a few years, right?
Like
the last 5 years.
I'm picking Juve.
Because in the last 5 years, Bayern won a Champions League. 2000. What is it? 12-13, right?
13.
Was it 13 that Bayern won a Champions League? Vibes for Flores is over there Googling it because he just became a soccer fan 2 years ago when somebody gave him a Red Bulls jacket. 13-14.
Yeah, so
definitely.
it's got to be Bayern. All right.
Yeah,
even
it's
as
gotta
a
be Bayern.
non-neutral, I got to go Bayern.
You guys are
and
right.
then Juve.
You guys are right.
So Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Juve. That was
12-13. But is that 5 years or is that 6 years?
Technically, that's technically 5 because they would have won it in 2013.
Right.
So that's 5. All right. I mean,
that's 5. I mean, technically,
I gotta give it to Bayern.
by today, tomorrow becomes that 6th year. So makes no. It's still in 5 until next weekend.
Still.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It resets next.
That was close. It almost became Juventus. Then we all would have been pissed off, except for Aaron. But I've got Bayern as the 3rd best team in the history of the last 5 years. The all-time history of the last 5 years, Bayern is the 3rd best team. Let's talk about World Cup snubs because they're slowly starting to roll out. Speaking of World Cup snubs, guys, I myself was one of them. So I will be emailing, direct messaging, and tweeting at every one of the players that thought they were going to a World Cup. I will send them the digital flowers you can send on Facebook. Would love to hear your guys' ideas of things I could send these players while they're going through a dark period of their life, thinking they were going to go to a World Cup, but now will be watching it from the comforts of their couch. That's what I did. I cried a lot when I got cut, not going to lie. But it was just one night of crying.
I respect
And then Chicago Fire fans were chanting U.S. reject the day after they cut me.
Oh
my God.
Dude,
yeah.
fans are brutal.
Yeah. And the reason you could hear it is because nobody was in their stadium.
Last night,
I got everybody. Look out. Oh, this too far? We got everybody behind the camera doesn't like that one.
Fans are the worst, by the way. Like,
they were vicious, dude.
LeBron got hit in the mouth yesterday, like probably had a concussion, was walking to the locker room, and a few grown men like sprinted across, like,
yeah.
You're a piece of shit, you got it!
You can't curse on the show. No cursing on the show.
Wait,
even in the heat of
broke the
passion.
precedent, I thought.
No, but honestly, it was the section behind the goal that's just, Jack, you know it, just a few rows of stands behind the goal. It was that section. And it's fine if you want to be like Dallas reject or whatever, but like a day after getting cut before the World Cup, it was literally, I flew from World Cup camp to Chicago, and the coach was like, you're distraught, we're not starting you. They put me on the bench, I was warming up in the first half or second half, and they were just chanting US reject. It was the only time in my career I almost jumped over the rails and started fighting people. I swear to you, that's a true story. That's a true story. People are vicious, man. And now I'm like chanting US reject to people that walk by, you know? To be fair, Red Bulls chanted Red Bull reject too when I came back to them and knocked them out of the Champions League in 2014 with Montreal. I should have my name on a rafter, dude, and you guys are chanting Red Bull reject. There's no love in this world anymore, man. It's all about what have you done for me today. Guys, there's only 29 days to the World Cup, so let's talk about some World Cup snubs. Starting with Germany, the big names for me, you've got a whole list of them, but no Mario Götze, no Andre Schürrle, the two guys that combined to score the winning goal in 2014 World Cup. Not that that matters, because literally it is a what have you done for me today, you don't get to rest on your laurels, but those two guys, out.
For me, it's Julian Weigl. I love him in midfield. I know he's been like injured and stuff, so it's probably a little difficult, but Sancho Wagner, they don't really have like a different option up top right now. So for me, I think that's another big one. I think their weakest area is striker. I like Timo Werner a lot. Thomas Mueller's like a weird 9.5, so I think
a weird 9.5 that's about, has he broken the record for most goals in a World Cup? He has.
I think so, maybe. I don't know, he's good,
a guy,
but like, yeah. And then Emre Can, who's also injured, so not a huge snub, but...
But is he out for the summer? Or would he be back in time for summer? Is he back?
Stat Jack. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, we don't know. There'll be no way of knowing.
Is Emre Can out for the summer?
No, he's back in training already.
So he got the snub from the World Cup.
So it is a snub, technically, yeah.
That is a snub. But it is about form, man. I mean, Neuer's a little bit different because he's been injured the whole year, but he can easily be a third goalkeeper, and they have good goalkeepers already, you know what I mean? So, in a bind, or if it was Pat, in the comments, he would be saying, Manuel Neuer is one of the four goalkeepers selected for the World Cup team. Because if your first three get injured, you need a fourth.
Honestly, every squad should have four. In honor of Pat. Just in honor of Pat.
Do you think if you put Neuer into a World Cup match right now that you could trust him?
I don't trust Neuer, period. I'm one of those people that doesn't really trust Neuer. Like, I think he's an incredible goalkeeper, but I don't like my goalkeepers to have frequent like lapses in mental concentration. Right. And I think he's like 95% of the time, like out of the world. But that 5% for a keeper, I like my keepers to be like 99%.
Wait,
solid.
so they're still cutting more players? There's 27 of them right now? And it's not even the 23, and there's that many cuts already? Oh, that is vicious, man. I thought the US team was deep when I got cut. Turns out Germany's deeper. No, I mean, you saw Confederations Cup, dude. They played with a hybrid between the B and the C team, and you're just like, okay, I get it. They're really good. You know.
What other snubs do you think like jumped out at you?
Well, let's talk about England. All right.
Jackie Wilshere. Was that like? Did you think that was warranted? Would you have left him off?
I actually just feel bad for Calum in our office.
He wasn't as sad as I thought he was going to be.
I feel like he's burying it inside of him, but like he has like pictures of him on his computer screen.
I think
printed
for him, it's like
taped to his computer screen.
He does. That is factual. But for him, it's Arsenal and over everything. So if Jackie doesn't go and he like gets healthy and stays, I think that's for him way more important than him going to the World Cup. But I mean, I thought that was a big one. Who's going to build up out of the back, like from deep? Like who is their creative midfielder now?
You got 23 players that go to the World Cup, right? You take Loftus-Cheek because he's playing so well right now. Big shout out. But my question is, why would you not take Sessegnon? Why would you not take him for the experience? You know how good he's going to be. You know he's going to be.
Because he's good.
Yeah.
And
But okay, he's playing in the championship.
I would say I would have taken him probably.
And most teams always bring that 17-year-old phenom when they exist, and you take him, and he learns from that. He gets a few minutes.
He's so versatile. We talked about this before,
right?
It's
a Julian Green moment, dude. Julian Green scored with his first touch in the World Cup, man. You took him because he hasn't been back since, but like no one's been back since. No, wait, that was 2000. Yeah, that was 14, right? What? He had to under Klinsmann. He for sure was. But who else is there? Oh, no Smaldini either. Smaldini's out.
Smaldinho?
But looking at this, Stones, Walker, Daly, Henderson, Lingard, Sterling, Kane, Vardy, who was really a lock besides them? Like who's has made the roster?
Eric Dyer probably. I think you're always going to take Eric Dyer. That's probably it, right?
Well,
you said Ali, right?
Yeah. But Ashley Young, I like that shout. That's a good one.
I mean, yeah,
I like the way he's committed to becoming an outside back.
Is one of those players that I think you absolutely take because he's been really good. He's converted from an outside back, but you can play him in a number of different positions. Like he's had big game experience. Like he's not a world-class player by any stretch of the imagination, but like you have to bring him.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, though. After 17 players into the team, it's all about either specialty positions or versatile players, right? You need guys who can play multiple positions so you can bring more attackers or more specialty players. So if you can have a defender that can play in a bind at left midfield or cover in other positions, you've got that backup
and
covered in a lot of ways.
Sessegnon, we've seen the kid play left back, left wing, like second striker. Like, why would you not bring? I don't know. I mean, I get it, but also, if I was an England fan, I'd be like, come on, man, we're not going to win anyway.
Did you sort of feel like when Sweden put their roster out that you were still hoping Zlatan would be on it?
Yes. Until they announced it, I was hoping.
Flores, dude, he's nodding as well.
For the content.
Yeah, for the content. He's also sick. Like Sweden, like he could secede from Sweden now for that. He could himself create a new country within Sweden and create his own commune with the commies. Would you guys join that? Would you guys move? Would you guys
Honestly,
move?
the government would let him have the land too.
Yeah. I like that. Brazil, Alexandro, Naldo.
I think Naldo was a big snub because I think Naldo was incredible this year. Sandro, for me, as a Juve fan, I see it. He wasn't that good this year. Like, Asamoah took his spot for half the year. Felipe Luis has been really good. Obviously, Marcelo's going to go. I'm fine with that, to be honest. Like, I don't think he deserved it. Like, he just wasn't that good this year.
Guys, we are just like 10 days out from, we are actually 10 days out from the Champions League final. We actually have our friend JJ, who's been on the show multiple times, is our beloved Irishman, who...
Everyone's been yelling about the Scot. Where's the Scottish guy?
Wow, that's messed up.
That's messed up, yeah.
To be fair, he is probably in his mind saying anyone but England, which I think is messed up. So if they're calling him a Scot, he'll take it right now. Those Irish, they're an honorary bunch.
It's deep history.
But look, I'm sinking out of this shot. No, look, JJ spent some money on a ticket. We don't know how much. Do we actually have a video of JJ telling us?
There'd be no way of knowing.
Let's roll that tape. Let's roll that tape then. JJ has something to tell us.
Well, guys, how's it going? Ticket is secured for the Champions League final. I am happier than Pat on an away day for the Cosmos that has been rerouted by a communist rally. That's how happy I am. I'm really excited, but kind of getting an insight into how tough it is for other Liverpool fans who are trying to secure tickets and accommodation in Kiev. The guy who I'm picking up my ticket off is travelling to Poland, I believe, and then getting a 10-hour bus ride to Kiev to try and cut costs because this is just one of the most expensive Champions League finals ever. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for my ticket, but it makes my bank account very, very sad. But it's going to be worth it, hopefully. Accommodation has gone through the roof in Kiev, and I'm glad of my hostel, which I will probably be mugged in, or will be inhabited entirely by Real Madrid fans.
Wow, that's amazing stuff. Did he say in that video? I missed it. How long he's been a Real Madrid fan?
Oh man, lifetime.
He's been a lifetime fan. Makes sense. You know, he wants to see them go back to back to back. I get it, dude. I would spend a crazy amount of money. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving JJ a hard time. We won it 5 times. We won it 5 times in Istanbul. We won it 5 times. I've spent more time with Liverpool fans and the club of Liverpool and their sponsor New Balance in my life than any other team in the world, which is interesting, and it's made me want to love them. But I've been a Real Madrid fan my whole life, and therefore I can't. No, I'm happy for JJ. I did hear though that he spent a lot of money. Like, I mean, he's admittedly saying that. I heard it's around, give or take, a couple hundred here, but close to 2,000 US dollars, USDs, when you convert it on xe.com, which is a live exchange rate website where you can get up-to-date exchanges of all currencies around the world. So going from Great Britain pounds to dollars, I would say that that's a hefty little investment, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity okay, it's not, because it was 2005 and then 2007. So what's the point of spending all this money? You've been there 3 times in your lifetime, JJ. I don't know, man. We got to talk about investments and stuff. We got to diversify a little bit. Maybe you could have put all that on a bet, doubled that up. Next Champions League opportunity, whenever it comes. By then, we're multi-billionaires off that initial $2,000. Who knows where it happened? I don't know. I'm flustered. Sorry, JJ. I hope you have a good time.
Dude, I legitimately considered going to Wales for the Champions League final last year, and I didn't go. The main reason was because I was broke. That was the biggest reason.
So you didn't actually consider going? You just had a thought that was
I would have like.
That's like wouldn't it be cool if? And then it was like telling the story like, dude, we were.
It was like I had the money, but I was like, I could either go be real disappointed and be like eating ramen for the next couple of months, or I could sit on my couch and cry by myself. I took the smart route, sat on my couch and cried by myself.
That makes sense. I like that. To be fair, it would have been a cool opportunity regardless. I've never been to a Champions League final. I'm just waiting for somebody to invite me to a Champions League final. I was trying to go last year. Looking at you, official sponsors or anybody who has tickets. I'm looking for friends. And if you're looking for a friend to go to a game with that doesn't want to spend $2,000, I'm your
Someone
guy.
in the comments said COPA90 needs to give JJ a raise. He doesn't actually officially work with us. He's just a great friend.
He's just a great friend who literally shows up every Wednesday 5 p.m. and says, hey guys, I'm here for the live show.
I'm here for the live show.
And he's so charming, so handsome, and so smart, literally knows everything about the history of the game that we got to have him on.
Gotta keep having him.
I haven't gotten to be on there with him yet, have I? Have I done one live show with JJ? Yeah, one. Yeah, that's right. Just one. All I do is get to watch him from a distance, but what? Yeah, hot crowd today. I mean, I get it, dude. People are wound up. People are all jacked up on Mountain Dew in here after a couple hours of drinking soda pops and watching their team, unfortunately, fall short of a title.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip. I'm gonna come at you like a sodomite.
Do you think that Liverpool having an extra week of rest? I just threw Grandpa Chip's war medals. What a movie. He's one of the greatest movies ever.
If we wanted them to
It's
be...
so fitting. Wow, French. I get it. Do you think having an extra week of rest for Liverpool is an advantage?
At this point in the season, yeah. Because they've been just going. And this little chance to just relax and get off the legs a little bit, work on some tactics, have some fun in training. Those days, I feel like, obviously you played at the highest level.
I don't know, man. The other argument is that you're in top
too much
form,
time.
Right? You're in top form. You just want to keep playing games every couple days. Just literally keep playing games because you know that you're shooting the lights out.
Which way do you lean?
Dude, honestly, I don't know what it's like to play 75 games a year like some of these guys are playing, so I don't know what that physical toll is. I remember reading a stat that Steven Gerrard had played 80-something games going into a Champions League at one point, and it's that's insane. But the reality is that I don't think a few days hurts, but a week can lose sight. But you're talking about a final, If it's a semifinal, fine. But for a final, if you can't get up for that, then stay on your couch and cry for a month. That's what I say.
That's what I do, bro. That's my life.
All right, what else is going on in the comments?
Couple of questions we got. Here's a good one.
Okay.
Daniel again. Daniel's coming with the solid questions, by the way. Daniel Martinez. Who from MLS? He said the MLS, but we're going to get it right. Who from MLS do you think has the best chance to be a standout player at the World Cup? That's a solid question.
Shoot, man.
Is Carlos Vela in the World Cup squad? Did he make it?
Yeah.
Vela?
Okay, I'm going Nicolas Lodero.
Ooh, I like that.
You guys
With
like
what?
that, huh? Yeah, you guys like that?
Lodero, okay.
I know you guys like that. No, I think it could be Lodero. I think Vela's a good shout. I mean, who else? We got got a lot of Panamanians, a lot of Costa Ricans. Trying to think of who that could be that really stands out from them to really lead in the World Cup.
Tyler Adams.
Yotun on Orlando.
He's not on
Peruvian.
it? Oh, Yotun, yeah. Yeah, there's I just got his Panini sticker today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I traded for it because it meant the world to me that I have some sort of connection to you as a producer. Just so you guys know, Vice for Flores is Peruvian. Yes, he's a new soccer fan, but he has been Peruvian his whole life. And that stands for something come World Cup time, and you guys can't take that away from him. So send those vibes over his way in the comments. Yeah, Yotun, is he playing regularly? Is he good? Is he a good player?
He's playing regularly for Orlando. He is.
But is he gonna? He'll make the squad, right? Did they announce the squad? That's awesome.
Niranjam asks, which team do you think is being carried by one player like LeBron?
In the world?
Is this club or international? International, I'd have to say Argentina very easily, right? Club? Is it rude to say Zlatan?
No, because they're not winning either. They haven't won in like 6 or 7 games.
Dang.
Sincel Trafico, they haven't won.
Rude.
I don't think. Let me think who else.
Carlos Borrayo, while you're thinking of that, he says you look bomb AF. He thinks you look good, bro.
Thanks.
Shout out Carlos.
Don't get a lot of those flying through the comments amongst the commies, but I'll take that any day of the week.
He is talking about clubs.
Dude.
He's talking about clubs. So.
LOL clubs. LOL clubs. Heath looks bomb AF. LOL clubs. No, those are different people.
These are two separate things.
Okay.
Neuronim's talking about the one club.
I read everything on the
played, carried by a player. I can't think of
clubs. Don't know, guys. We're not huge soccer fans, so it's tough to come up with stuff on the spot like that. So if you guys would just send your questions in earlier in the week, we can research them, put on a whole front, and be like,
Neymar?
Neymar from Brazil.
But they have Cavani and so many other good players, so it can't be them.
Dude, I said shout out vibes for Flores, and nobody threw some vibes in there. No vibes for Flores, and I just feel like that sort of really pisses me off that I send out a call to action and people aren't sending those vibes for Flores in there. This guy did say he looks like he plays beach volleyball with the dudes.
Just guys being dudes. Dudes being bros.
Shout out to the Copa fam, I like that. Mexico will go far, maybe. I'd love to see Mexico do well. This is not me jumping in on this World Cup being like, no, I support Mexico, because I don't. I support the US.
This is my favorite comment, though. It's all caps. Mexico will go far, maybe?
Dude, hopefully he's just like me, where if you accidentally all cap something, you just leave it. You're just like, I can either highlight it all and delete it and rewrite it, or tap, delete it all and then write it again.
Too much effort, though. Yeah,
we are in 2018. If you can't figure out what a sentence says, even if it's spelled wrong, besides my mom always says what to anything that I misspell. I'm just sound it out. It's one word in a 20-word sentence. You know what this means. Shout out to my mom, though. It was just Mother's Day, so shout out to my mom.
Shout out to the moms.
Shout out to all the moms.
Yeah, shout out to the moms.
Yeah, even the Canadian ones. Canadian Tim.
That's tight.
We haven't talked about Canadian Tim much today.
We have.
And he's the nearest to us right now. Let's see if that gets in the shot.
Is that on the camera?
Let's check it.
Let's
check that in the shot here.
Check it out. Bring it in there.
TV delay. Wow, it's like an hour. An hour delay. Oh, there it is. Is there a hand? There's the shot.
Oh, yes. Canadian Tim.
It's on a little bit of delay. That's cool. Now they're going to wait 20 seconds to hear us saying there's the shot. Aaron, who cuts your hair?
I go to a local barber shop in Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
What's their name? That's kind of what they were asking. They didn't ask geographically where do you get a cut.
I'm trying to remember the name now.
Wow. No free promos. That's what he's saying. No free promos. If they want, they can give him a free haircut.
Vernon is Hair. The barber shop is called Vernon is Hair.
Really?
It's a weird name. Vernon is Hair, but they do a good job.
You should be telling them you're out here getting them business, and they should.
I'm gonna tell my barber next time I go. Yeah. Felicia, I'm gonna show you this clip. I'm letting you know. I have a female barber. She's super dope.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's super tight.
That sounds sick. I don't have a barber.
Every single one of the best barbers I've ever had has been
I had
a woman.
one.
I don't know.
And then he became a master barber, and then it became too expensive, so I just grew my hair out for 2 years.
That's real. That is real.
Do you think I could have had enough if I saved all that money that I was regularly getting haircuts to have enough to have outbid JJ for his ticket?
I would have been able to go to the World
Final?
Cup if I didn't cut my hair for 2 years.
Do you think I could come up with enough to buy JJ out of his passion?
Yes.
Do you think we could Kickstarter money to keep JJ in New York for the Champions League final?
How much would you have? How much? What do you think that number would be? Like if you raised money, how much would you have to give JJ?
You think we could buy him out, Matt? 10K?
10K?
You don't think 5K?
Nah.
150%
I think
returns?
I think 7.5 would do it. I think 7.5.
We should start rallying this, dude. Really test this fan loyalty of JJ. Him and his love for Real Madrid.
How much do you love it?
FA Cup final is this weekend, which is pretty rad. Chelsea's playing Man United, which is pretty rad. Chelsea's got 7 FA Cups. Their last one was in 2011-12. Stat Jack hooked us up with all these because he's the man. Man United has 12 FA Cups. Their last in 15-16. Chelsea, the last to have won a league, obviously.
I have a sincere question for you.
Yeah.
Do you care about the FA Cup?
I think you care if you're a Chelsea or Man United fan at this point because it is a major trophy for two sides that have fallen short of the majorest trophies.
Do you personally?
I'll watch it because there's two big teams. If it was like the year when Wigan was in the final, I actually did watch that because of whatever, but I wasn't super invested in it. Like this to me it means something because for either of them it's going to be a final against a top team, so it feels like a final. Even if people say FA Cup's not a major trophy or whatever, it's still bigger than the League Cup. It's not as big as winning the league or Champions League or Europa League. But because you're playing against another big club, it means something no matter what. And they both obviously won multiple FA Cups, so it's a big deal for them. What do you think the best rivalry in England is? Historically, Man U Chelsea, Man U Manchester City, Man U Liverpool, Tottenham Arsenal, Arsenal Chelsea.
I think historically, honestly, for the last 2 decades, Arsenal United Arsenal. I think now it'd have to be City United probably, or United Chelsea, but I think City United.
I'm a little bit biased towards the North London Derby, obviously, but those have been pretty fun to watch over the years. Obviously, the game, it's like what we see in the North London Derby is like the last of the ruthless play from these two teams that are both play pretty beautiful, or at least attempt to play beautiful football. It's the only time you really see them get up for a challenge. Whereas like back in the day, in a United game, someone was going to get murdered by somebody else on the pitch and really take somebody out. So
I used to love just watching Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane actually fight each other on the field. Like, do everything. No, they did throw hands. Like, I was about to say do everything but throw hands. No, they threw hands.
I always wanted to live in a world where I loved football so much as a player that I hated other people. But I could never really tap into that. Maybe it was just the way I was raised, but I just couldn't hate people as much as I saw other people hating people. Like, legitimately hating somebody that you're playing against. Like, you can honestly say they hated each other.
I'm not that type of person in general. Like, I've gotten combative on the field, and I'm a way more combative person, like, when I step over the line, but I've never been like, oh, I want you dead. Every time I see you, like, I need your fade for any one player, but
What do you think about the new transfer window? The window of the transfer window. The actual window itself is starting midnight, May 17th, closes August 9th at noon, which would be 6 p.m.
Is that the first day of the...
5 p.m. there.
League
kickoff? 5 p.m. in the UK. Oh, I guess, they're trying to avoid having it go into their seasons, right?
I mean, I like the idea. It's just weird that only one league is doing it. It's weird that only one league is doing it, but then by the same token, like, English Premier League is the one that mainly, I would say, drives the transfer window as a whole. The big clubs from around Europe, but like the English teams are the ones that really drive it. And like eliminating that whole, I think, deadline day, like, it's a fun spectacle, but it's just too much stress on clubs, players, teams, like everything around the world. I think moving it up is better, way better.
Yeah, I think moving it up is good too.
I think the rest of the world will follow suit.
I like this one this year because it's not focusing on. It's allowing the World Cup to sort of have its time, which I think is nice. And it's also, getting. I like the idea of it stopping when the season starts too, just because it's such a distraction. Teams want to get going, forces business to start a little bit earlier so people can really get into it. August 31st is just really late. I like the deadline day thing and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm not signing players, so it's not that exciting for me. So the rules of this is that it opens on May 7th. Oh, opened on May 7th. Okay. Clubs and playoffs can sign players but unable to use them until season is over. Wow. Okay. Also closes at 5 p.m. Okay, we said that. They can sign players on loan and free agents until August 31st. That's what happened to me in Turkey back in the day. Is I signed September 1st. Turkish FA was like, nah, man, should have done it before midnight. Literally, and I quote, nah, man, you should have done it before midnight. That's what they said to me. They were like, bro. I was like, bro. And they were like, bro. Andrew gets it. Yeah, player in hand. And I was like, bro. They were like, bro. But yeah, that didn't work out. Other countries all close on August 31st, which again poses the question, what's the point of one league doing it? I guess they do have a lot of internal movement because like an English player that plays in the Premier League is worth 20 million within England. So they're moving players all the time in that like 10 to 20 million range. Yeah. A lot of domestic transfers.
I got a question for you. Marco Rosas asks, Eric Palmer Brown said that 95s and younger is the generation that could turn the page for the USA. How do you guys feel about that?
95s and younger?
That's 23 years old and younger, I think.
Okay.
Right? Is that right, math? Yeah, 23 years old.
23 and younger?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going all the way to the age of a kid who's just born, like.
I mean, technically, yeah, they have to be the ones to turn the page.
Because it's not going to be the ones that already passed. But I mean,
where's? You're not wrong.
I mean, look, I still think we're a ways from that. I think Eric Palmer Brown is the next wave of like these. What was once the Project 2010, where the U.S. was going to win the World Cup in 2010. Like, it's not a realistic thing right now. I still think the academies are 10, 15 years away from being in a place where they're actually developing not just the best players for the national team, but consistently good professionals that can play in the top 5 leagues in Europe regularly. I'm not just talking about, and I'm not saying they can't do that now, but I'm saying infrastructurally where the culture is at a point where it's like these people are being raised in a football world, in a soccer world, in a soccer culture, where they understand the game unilaterally, or at least for the most part. We have an idea of how people across the country are developing players at the youngest age. They're in it for the right reasons. It's not a big money grab for a lot of the youth coaches anymore. So once that, I think, takes off, then of course, I think that generation. But I don't think it's going to happen while Eric Palmer Brown is playing in the national team. I just don't. How old is he now? 19, 21? 21, right?
I think he's like 19. I read an article about him today, and he's 21.
Yeah, 21.
He's on loan from Man City, and he was talking about like the loan team that Manchester City has, where they're like regularly contacting those guys. They're like sending them clips, like staying connected, which I thought was really cool because I don't think that's a normal thing.
I agree, but where's he playing right now?
KV Kortrijk.
And he's not playing every game, is he?
He played like 10 games this season, I want to say. Started like 10 games. He played like a decent amount, but
played
like
9? Yeah, out of a full season?
Yeah, 0 goals.
Okay, so why is this kid thinking, no offense to him, but actually offense to him, why is he thinking that his generation is going to be the one, or him and younger are going to be the ones that change things for US?
EPB didn't say it though.
He
didn't say it.
He didn't say it?
No, someone in the comments asked if EPB and his generation would be the one.
Oh, okay, that changes everything.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to be. I thought he said it. I was going to be like, nah, man.
Come on, bro.
You're 21 and not playing regularly in the high league.
He busted out the roast, angled it just right. It was about to...
I was about to get out the taser and tase all 3 of you guys behind the camera. I was so heated, dude. I don't have a taser. I'm just kidding. I think those are illegal here. But yeah, no, I don't think they're the ones. I think we'll get incrementally better. But I mean, look, if you watch academy games right now, those players are better than when we were young. Those academy teams, they didn't exist, but like a good club team in the U.S. back then can't compare to the way academies play now. The quality that they have, the technique that they have, the tier of talent that they have is better. But there's still, I still think there's a developmental gap that's happening from like age 6 to 14 that we haven't figured out how to solve yet.
I agree with you 100%.
What do I know?
100%, papá. What else are we talking about today?
Look, it's US Open Cup. Why doesn't anybody care? Do you guys care? You guys care? You guys should. If you don't, I can't hear through the camera, but I feel like some of you are shaking your heads at me right now going no. And that's disappointing Pat, and Pat might ban the show next time. Not ban, but protest it, because he's a big fan of the Open Cup. Second round is this Wednesday night, tonight.
Wow.
Cincinnati's playing Detroit City FC, and you can watch that, right, on ussoccer.com. That is a great game because Cincinnati is probably going to be the next announcement for Major League Soccer. Detroit City has a crazy, wild fan base. Really, really cool. Both of them have strong fan bases. They're taking the Open Cup serious. I think that's really, really cool. So make sure you guys check that out. ussoccer.com, easy place to get a game, so go and check it out. SC Cincinnati, already did that one. Jacksonville Armada's playing Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's a good one. Miami FC's playing Miami United. That's great. That's going to be good, dude. It's going to be swampy hot down there for that game already. Oh, is that what they're calling it? South Beach Classico? I like that. I like that. Reno 1868 is playing Timbers U23. Timbers U23 is the only B team still in it.
That's right.
Do you think they can go on and run?
Honestly, anything can happen in this tournament. That's the most cliched thing to say, but like with players moving up and down, like between like Portland Timbers one of their players could get called up to the first team and then they're screwed.
Yeah.
I literally think in it, but if I've just had to put my money on any one team for the hell of it, Detroit City. Why not? Just because I love their kids.
Yeah.
Their kids are so tight, so I'm going with Detroit. I don't know.
You know what though? That brings me up to a good, just a crazy thought of how much respect I guess the Red Bulls too should get. They've won the USL Championship, right? They've been to 2 finals, haven't they? One final. Oh, they lost in the semifinal last year. But game after game after game, they have to change players. So some guys coming down from the first team, some guys coming back from injury, young players coming up from the academy, and then signed USL 2 players. And it's just this revolving door of talented players that they still win pretty regularly. And they're still considered one of the better teams in USL, even though it's technically a B team. I think it's pretty cool. And a tough challenge, but that's what makes me think a guy like John Wolnick is going to get an MLS job sooner than other people because he's showing what he can do with just so many different things that you have to put into it. And sometimes when you adopt an MLS squad, you are getting that kind of combination of all these players and saying, here, win me games. So that's pretty cool. I don't know, it's a random thought.
That's right. Can I drop my Black Power rankings in real quick? I literally have one person.
I think it might be ours.
I have one person for my Black Power rankings this week. It's Ryan Sessegnon.
Can we, hold on.
What just happened, by the way?
People just rolling up trying to give us food in the middle of the show.
That's kind of tight,
I'm all for that. It's like a pretzel.
Did you turn it down? Was it not for us?
I was just trying to say it wasn't mine. I was a little bit flustered. At least he said excuse me though.
I'm just gonna, like I said, my Black Power rankings are short and sweet. It's literally just one player, Ryan Sessegnon, because that's the homie. The other people. So back to you in the studio.
It's all on that floor. Mostly ice, yeah.
I'm sorry, Canadian Tim. I'm sorry to you and every Mexican person I offended, and the country itself.
It's like saying everyone in Ireland is Irish.
It's true. It's true.
Are we missing the point here? Are we losing our argument? Do we take this one?
Peru's chances without Guerrero.
Oh, I mean,
out of the group.
was he super good in qualifying, or was he just
carried
was
them?
he?
Yeah.
Dude, his heartfelt thing that he put out on the internet is pretty sad. Did you know that apparently the argument was that they were finding, they like traced the DNA from like mummies from like, yeah, right, from mummies, and they found this plant
that they've been chewing for centuries.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Yeah. That's how they got him off, and then like, why did they overturn it? What was the issue?
I don't know. I think they just changed their mind to the decision.
That's so wild.
It went from like 6 months down to 3 months, then back up.
Yeah. And now it's 8 months, but because he's only served 3 months, so he's, that sucks.
It would never happen in the U.S. justice system.
France, Peru.
What?
Australia, Denmark, France, Peru in that group.
Australia, Denmark, France, Peru. Australia. I mean, they were good against Iceland. They dominated Iceland in that friendly.
France and Denmark.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Denmark is that good outside of Christian Eriksen. I mean, he's the one that beat Ireland.
They're not, but they're better than Peru, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But Peru were good, man. Peru's tough to predict.
Their counterattack is
You get those teams like, and a team like that has nothing. I guess Denmark has nothing to lose too. But like, you get a team like Peru has nothing to lose. They're pretty fearless, man. They could go after it. But yeah.
Who's getting promoted, Fulham or Villa? Joe Bainbridge is asking that.
Who? What?
Joe Bainbridge wants to know who's getting promoted, Fulham or Villa. Stat Jack, where you at?
Let Stat Jack here.
Who's getting promoted?
You want to come on and talk about it?
He did the inadvertent no. Yes, hit him with the microphone.
Dude, I wish you guys let me hold this for like an hour anyway.
Come on in, bud.
Everybody else
guys. Come on in. Stat Jack is here. You guys finally get to see Stat Jack's face. This is the first time, right?
I'm a person, so yeah.
Stat Jack is real.
For hundreds of years, been trying to get to the Premier League.
Really ever expected. So my gut says Fulham, but my heart.
I need you to go. I don't know why I am talking to this mic. I have my own mic, but it just feels more interviewer, right? It's better. We're back to you. Thanks for watching the break. Let's try this again. Who's going to win that final? I understand Fulham's probably the favorite, right? Are they the favorite odds?
Yeah, Fulham statistically are the favorite, but it's going to be Villa 6.
Snub?
Yeah, I think so, just because he's going to be in the England World Cup squad the next few World Cups. So he could have been like the Rafa Marquez, been to 5 World Cups, maybe break that record, go to 6 if he's going to be in there for that long. He's got a bright future, that kid.
Can you explain to me what the championship was thinking, putting their game on the same day as the Champions League final?
Yeah, and also pretty busy day of MLS action, so maybe they're just trying to get people to the bar early, get them started. Championship playoff finals at noon. I think Champions League finals like.
Is there anything else?
Aaron or anyone else to win Serie A? I think Roma has the next best chance.
United, maybe. Somebody's gonna come in on him. He's free. I think he's out of contract.
Is he? I'm looking it up. When's your contract up? I don't know. But that actually, I forgot Chelsea were in for him. That makes sense. But yeah, I still think Roma. Even if Dzeko leaves, I think Monchi is like established enough. Like I think he did really, really good this last summer. They won. I saw a lot of people talking.
Yeah. The whole place smells like buffalo wings, and I'm starting to get a headache from it. But Aaron, myself, everybody behind the camera that's making all this stuff tick. Andrew's got his hands on the dials like a DJ right now with his headphones on. That looks
he's
super
ready
sick.
to cut
You guys
us
will get to
off.
see all of them someday, but he's ready to cut us off. He's like
ready to
literally
cut us
wrapped
off.
it up already. But guys, every Wednesday, 5 p.m., we go live. Send your suggestions, send your comments in. Keep them coming. We'll see you guys next week.
It's been a minute right now. I've been living that life on the road both times, man, I getting that pound.